when he was running for president for not paying taxes. So if you buy real estate, the perfect scenario is you have a business, you have real estate, and your real estate dwarfs your company that you have, and you pay no taxes. Isn't that awesome? Okay.
Wow.
So that's what California offers. Investing out of state, pros, strong cash flow, higher cap rates. Babe?
Lower cost of entry, easier to buy multiple units.
Fast scaling, you can go up to 20 to 50 units sooner than in California. Obviously, here you're paying between 250 and 500,000 in this area per unit. Now, if you go out of state, you can buy units for starting at, I would say, $6,000. To something average, I would say $35,000, $60,000, and it'll be high cash flowing properties. Babe?
Diversification, less policy risk.
Mm-hmm. Business style investing, numbers driven decisions. I truly believe that I put it here just to show you guys, but I want to go to the next slide and talk a little bit about what you should hear. So investing out of state, what are the disadvantages? What are the cons to investing out of state? So limited control, reliance on property managers. This one could break you. We used to buy, I used to travel, a little backstory, throughout the whole country, buying real estate, get married 2 years into it. I missed my wife too much, said, I'm not going to do this, babe. We're going to own real estate just in San Diego. We sold everything out of state, and we focused in San Diego only, or California, better said. And I noticed something. I didn't go to school to learn real estate. I learned it as I practiced it. Unfortunately, should have done the opposite. But what I did learn was that I was buying in different pockets. We go and buy in Arizona, we go buy in Michigan, we go buy in Bakersfield, buy in San Diego, different pockets. So it was a little diversified. But in real estate, if you diversify geographically, it hurts you because you don't have buying power. What am I saying is I go to Arizona and I own 4 units in Arizona. And that was it. So the property manager, all of a sudden, is changing the water heater twice a year. They're conditioning 2 years consecutively. The heat pump units in Arizona. I was like, didn't we just change the water heater last year? Oh yeah, but it got stolen. How do I know if he's lying or not? I'm not there. He knew that. If I'm across the country, it's even worse. But I started buying in clusters. I said I would go to places like Bakersfield. Boom, go buy in 10 homes. Come back another month, and go buy another 6 homes. Come back, go buy another 10 homes. So then I got buying power. I talked to a property manager and I said, hey, I know what you can do. I don't want you to do that to me. Can we work together? You want my business? I said, I own a construction company. I'm educated. I'm well versed in real estate. Please don't do that. I really want to work with you. Can we just have this conversation before we go there? So I set the expectation, and because of the work that I gave him, the quantity of properties, they respected us and did that a lot less. And the pockets around the country where we just own onesies and twosies, they would do that to us all the time. So, property managers.
Market knowledge gap, bad areas can look good.
Mm-hmm. So, we all know San Diego pretty good. 94 Interstate. Are you guys familiar with 94 Interstate?
Mm-hmm.
Then we got 15 Interstate. Can we imagine that intersection?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that you go to Texas, Houston, Texas, which is pretty hot. I like Houston, Texas a lot. I want to go there soon. We're going to go there soon. But imagine that you're in a situation like this, geographically. You are buying a property on the south of the 94, okay? And you pay a price a block away on the north of the 94. That mistake can cost you like $300,000-$400,000. If you don't know the area, it looks the same. It's the same zip code. It's just across the freeway. The neighborhoods look nice, but and it's getting nicer as the years go by. But it's not where the north part is just yet. It hasn't jumped the freeway.
Yeah.
So you make a mistake like that out of state, you can lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. Does that make sense?
So true.
Yes.
Okay, babe.
Travel and oversight cost.
Mm-hmm. Risk of mismanagement, similar to property management.
Weaker appreciation compared to coastal markets.
Okay, because real estate out of state is less desired, then it doesn't appreciate as much. The law of supply and demand for business, any of our businesses, any sphere. Does that make sense?
Correct.
So, California, high appreciation. You get some cash flow if we do it right. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Out of state, higher cash flow, but a very low appreciation, unless you have a strategy where you can force appreciation, And we're going to talk about those things in a minute. Next slide, please. All right. So, babe, what do we say? It's a night of what?
A night of vision.
That's right. You want to read that, babe, for me?
Yes, Habakkuk 2:2-3. Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come.
I love that last part. We all know Habakkuk 2:2 because it says for us to write our vision and we'll see it come to pass. But the last part, God was speaking to me last night as I was writing this. Because we're going through some stuff right now. Guys, by the way, no matter how many millions of dollars you have, or probably billions of dollars, I'm not a billionaire, but I can say as a multimillionaire, that cash flow will always be something that gets you concerned. Cash flow will always be it. If it wouldn't be, maybe you're bad at managing, maybe you're bad at planning. No, because if you are not born in an old family or a business, like Thomas McCarthy, 120 years in existence. Come on. If you're not born in a family like that, then you're always going to be trying to grow your company. You grow your company, the need for cash flow is always going to be there. Does that make sense? Right. Okay, so though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come to pass. That is the Lord telling you. Like, hey, chill, keep on going, it's going to come to pass. Now, God-given vision requires clarity, writing it down, patience, and obedience. If you can see it clearly on a piece of paper, you can build it patiently. So this is kind of like the why behind the what. The why behind the what in the challenge that we had last week. How many of us did it? Yeah. Fantastic. So we got, raise your hand if you did it, please. So we got 1, 2, come on. Yes. Come on. Wow. That's phenomenal.
Go, guys.
Okay. Yeah. So there is something about aptitude that God has been talking to me a lot about. What is aptitude, guys? We talked about it on the first day. What is aptitude? Anyone? What is aptitude? Your what? Okay, yes.
Your talent.
How about your initiative? How about your competence? How about how hungry you are to go out and take territory? Right. How about taking action? How about being a self-initiator? How about being proactive? How about your resourcefulness? How about you being the person that says, I go first, I'm going to go do that? There's something about that in life. Pastor Marco comes and preached last week. She has a beautiful message on honor, and he drops a bomb, and I'm in the back. I've heard this message at least 10 times on honor, and he says beautiful words. He says, hey, I partnered up with a guy named Oscar, and I've always felt very prophetic with him, and I called him my partner, and now he is my partner. He runs my company, and I don't have to be involved in my company because I always called him, and when you honor, you draw. The Bible says that you honor a prophet, you get a blessing of a prophet. You honor someone, you call him a partner, he will be a partner.
So
he
true.
Says that. I go to work the next day, that night, I come up with an SOP. I show up to the office, and we have a quick training on it, and I started being prophetic and talking about it. I interview someone that I've been wanting to bring into the company, a sales guy that works for another company. We're in transition, bringing him to our company in 3 months. And I say, you know what, you're going to be my partner. And he says, you know what, let's do this. You don't have to pay me right now. He goes, I'm going to be getting you jobs while I am in my 3-month transition, so I can prove myself, and I don't need no commission. I said, no, we're going to give you a commission. What's a good commission for you? Well, they paid me 3 to 5%. We're going to give you 10%. Would that work for you? Yeah. 10%? Yeah. He was like tripping out. Yeah. I said, because you're my partner. Right. This guy will probably bring over $200,000 in profit to our company this year. I believe in this guy. But again, because I put into action what I came to do. My aptitude is very high when it comes to listening to people that I respect, like Pastor Marco. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So Steve Jobs said, what did he say, babe?
People who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Wow.
Keep on going, babe.
Vision always sounds unreasonable until it works.
Once again, babe.
Wow.
Vision always sounds unreasonable until it works.
And I made a note for you guys that I was listening to a podcast on this pastor on my way to LA today, and he was saying, everybody on earth is making decisions. What is crazy is that even deciding not to decide is a decision that you're making. And he got into talking that every single human being on earth neuroscientists have discovered that all of us, everyone on Earth, regardless of their socioeconomic status or demographic, they make between 7,000 and 10,000 decisions. Okay? A day. Even like, hey, I'm going to open up my eyes and wake up today. I'm going to go have a drink of water. 7,000 to 10,000 decisions. And I was just thinking as he was saying that, that means that a billionaire makes the same decisions as someone who's broke.
Wow.
But he has the aptitude to go and take action. I wake up and I am now a morning guy. I'm declaring that. I'm not, Thomas, I am. I'm a morning guy now. Looks at me like, what? I'm a morning guy.
Like 9 a.m.?
6 a.m., baby. 6 a.m. But what I'm telling you is that I like to hit that snooze button. I'm not even opening my eyes. I'm making a decision to not wake up and turn my alarm off. But that same decision, that same power could be used to open my eyes and stop it and get on my knees and start praying, which is what I like to do when I get up. But see, that's a decision that I'm choosing to make. Let me tell you that it's not a surprise, and this statement is very powerful, guys, and it can offend some, not us, but it can offend some, or it can encourage others. But it is that every single one of you, in life, this is a true fact, guys. In life, you are the sum of all the decisions that you make. You are the total sum of all the decisions that you make. That's who you are. So now who are you going to be? In order to be, you got to increase your aptitude to take decisions prophetically towards what your calling is. And in this case, we're talking real estate. Okay? So next slide, please. A little bit about vision. A little bit more about vision. What does that say, babe?
For all of us to purchase our own home and repeat and multiply.
Yep. Our vision is, come on, somebody say it.
For all of us to our own home and repeat and multiply.
For all of us to purchase our own home through the apprenticeship program and repeat and multiply. What do you need? You need advice from a construction company? Come and ask me. I mean, I'm not trying to get your business. Seriously, I'm a commercial guy, not a residential guy. But you got a question, come and ask me, I'll give you good advice. You need a realtor? We have very competent realtors right here behind you. You need an accountant? You have one of the best accountants that I know, Alex Cervantes.
That's right.
Like, let's I'm trying to impart some here tonight. Can I do that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to raise the expectation in this room to get out of here and go and buy some real estate. I believe that. I believe it. Do you guys believe it?
Yes.
Michael, I believe in you, Michael. I believe in you. I believe, I've been thinking about you so much. And my wife can tell you. I've been thinking about all of you guys. We're praying for you guys. But Michael, you are so special to me. You're so special to every single one of these leaders. And I believe, you're previous military, right? I believe that you can buy real estate. I read you 3-2-1?
Yes, 3-2-1.
I read you 3-2-1. I read it a couple of times. And it touched my heart. And let me tell you, you will buy real estate.
Come on.
Legacy for your family. It's going to be profitable. Come on, let's slide, please. Come on. Let's go. Let's continue. Come on, slide, guys.
Amen.
All right. We're gonna go and talk a little bit about when I had hair.
Wow.
No, we're gonna talk about our beginnings. Don't despise small beginnings. Babe?
Yes. Every great vision starts with faithful steps.
If you guys can see this, I don't have a pointer, but right behind Denise, you see that mark on the wall?
Yeah.
That office was so small in my dad's house when we started that I would scratch the back wall. The chair wouldn't fit in there. It was like less than 4 feet. That's how small we started when we started our business. Actually, that was already like our 4th year in business, guys. That behind me, I was 21 years old, building my first investment property, okay? So let's continue. We're gonna go a little faster. So that was our first investment that we made. That's the house that Denise and I moved in when we got married. But I built it before Denise and I had met. But the lot that you see there on the corner is the way the property looked when I identified the asset, okay? The picture below is once we developed it, okay? And I don't expect you to go out and develop it. I don't recommend that. But this is my story. This is my rhema word that God gave me. What's yours?
Wow.
But I'm going to show you something that you can do even without developing, okay, that we did here. So we go out, we develop this property. Next slide. Next slide. Oh, hold on. Let's go back. I'm sorry. Let's go back. So we get into the house, and we had a big garage. It was pretty empty. We have a workshop. So I permitted when I developed the property as a workshop, because back then the ADUs weren't easy to get approved. But if you built the home and considered it a workshop, they came back later and asked for an ADU, permits were easier. Don't ask me why. It's the way the city was back in those days. I'm 43 now. That was when I was 21. So it was a long time ago, guys. But before ADU was a thing. Right now, the way you force appreciation in California, mainly California, into assets, like the last resort, the only thing that works right now, in my opinion, I shouldn't talk like that. One of the only things that work, in my opinion, in California, Southern California, is ADUs. But we were doing it back then 20 years ago. I was already doing that. So we converted the garage into a 2-bedroom ADU and got 2 students to live on that unit. And the workshop made it a junior ADU and also rented it. I was, didn't have a family back then, was single. So the house was a 3,500 square foot home. So then I got 2 roommates and, just 2 of my friends from college, and we were just having fun while I was making money. Let's go to the next slide. Let's talk about the numbers, babe. You want to do that?
Yes. Can I just add one more thing? Yes. I feel that's necessary. In the slide before that, it shows our house, and yes, we got married. We didn't have the most glamorous wedding, but we had a house. And a lot of people start differently, which is valid. But that's how we started. And Chris is like the master in speaking on delayed gratification. So later he might touch on it or one of these nights. But he's just awesome on that.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
What I was saying a little bit about that is that we have a rule in our family. There's like an SOP in our family that we have a rule in our family that says that we can't buy something. Except nominal expenses, of course, right? Necessities, vacations, things like that for the family. But anything else, cars, whatever it is, homes, big deal, like a big deal expense, like an
Escalade.
Escalade, a nice car, a Porsche, whatever. We're not gonna go out on a Lamborghini, Junior. Yes. So anything that's gonna cost us money, we're not gonna go and pay for it and buy it if our assets will not pay for it. If our assets can't pay for it, then that means that we can't afford it. Even if we have the money, the funds, and the credit to do so. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
So we live by that rule since we started. Okay? And we've broken it very seldom. But okay, numbers, babe?
Yes. Where do we start? Total project cost?
Yes.
So we purchased a lot with 10% down for $67,000.
So $67,000 was the cost of the lot. That was not the down payment. So do the math, like $6,700. Yep. Continue, babe.
And the new construction was $350,000.
20 years ago. 22 years ago.
Yeah, and all in cost it was $417,000.
Okay, rental income was junior ADU $2,100.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the garage $2,300. The main house $1,600. My 2 roommates, we have 5 rooms. I only rented 2. I lived in one for free. Total income $6,000. After refinancing and getting all the money back that I invested, I cash flowed $2,700 a month. So it was a net cash flow of $3,300. What? That's not right. Math is wrong. Sorry guys, I was a little tired last night. $2,700 was the net cash flow after all my expenses, not $3,300. So this is something that you can go out and do in any property. Pick a location, buy a home that has a decent yard, that has a 3-car garage, build a 2-bedroom in the 3-car garage, build an ADU in the back. That's called forcing appreciation into an asset. There's 2 ways how you build equity in San Diego. One is when you buy. Every sales agent knows this. You make your money when you purchase. So do that. Make your money when you purchase. And secondly, by forcing appreciation with ADUs in the garage, in the back, and you probably have anywhere between $350,000 and $500,000. You do that every 2 years. $500,000 if you're married, free of taxes, $250,000 if you're not. And 10 years, you're a multi-millionaire. It's not that difficult. Next slide. So then we went to this property. Next slide, please. Then we went to this property in National City, and we bought pretty much a whole block. And there was a lot of, each of the units or homes had a big piece of land adjacent to it. So we go out and we buy this property, and the 3 units that you see there, the bungalow of homes, they were 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. So we converted them into 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and that big home was a 4 bedroom, 3 bath, and we converted it a 6 bedroom or 5 bedroom and 3 baths. So rent obviously went up like crazy. Remodeled them; they were in distraught condition. You can see how on this side over here we have just a solid, square, and over there you can see once we added the extra bedroom, master bedroom, then it kind of like went outwards a little bit from the square. That shows that we added a room in those homes. The other ones had the square footage already existing, or a garage that we encroached into and added the rooms. Next slide, please. A little bit before and after. Next slide. So let's talk numbers. Acquisition value add: 4 single-family homes on 1 large lot. Distressed asset: it was damaged. They had tenants that weren't paying rent. Tenants were removed. Property was renovated. Upgraded the layouts. All-in purchase $755,000. Value add conversions from 2 bedrooms to 3 bedrooms, and the 3 bedroom to 5 bedrooms. Monthly rental income: the 3 bed, 2 baths we're renting for $2,350. The 5 bedrooms for $3,400. So the total gross income on the property was $10,450. Cash flow performance: the mortgage including taxes was $4,450. Net cash flow was $6,000. By the way, between those 2 assets, between the first one that I showed you and the second one, there was dozens and dozens that we did. I'm just skipping here on track so that we can get to this and show you an example. You'll see why when I go to the next one. But after the refi, the mortgage went up to $6,485. We got all of our money back, and the net cash flow on the property was $3,965. Let's go to the next slide. So then we said, okay, we got some money. Let's sell some of our out of San Diego properties. Sold a whole bunch of property in Bakersfield that we used to own. We buy this property. As you can see, some of you guys have been in this property. We bought it. It was completely destroyed. An opportunity for us to increase value in it. The inside looked ugly. The outside had nothing but dirt and rattlesnakes inside and outside of the house. It's crazy. But then that's how it looks now. Continue, please. Next slide. So that's in the process. We do everything together as a family. Numbers, projects, we visit sites. The legacy we're living for our children is not just money. It is a wealth mindset that will help them for them go out and create money even when we're not here. Does that make sense?
Good, Chris.
Next slide, please. And that's how the property looks now. Next slide. Numbers. All right. So I'm gonna go a little faster. So we sorry, didn't include him. Okay, I don't remember. Okay, so buy the property. Oh, it's in the bottom. So buy the property for $1,050,000. In renovation costs, we spent about $1.2 million. Okay, so total capital invested was $2.250. Okay, so $2.25 million. Evaluation, somebody just offered me, we just moved out, $4 million. And I said, let me think about it. Another guy comes over, offers me $4 million again, but I just did comps and I think it's like $5.5 million. Not sure if we'll sell for this. I put 5.3, haven't got it appraised yet, but let's say 5.3. So 5.3, estimated equity is $3 million. Equity multiple on capital invested is 2.35. That equals 235%. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Next slide.
That's awesome, Chris.
All right. So now we moved out of there because our daughter is turning 16, and it's time for her to actually get to work. So she helped us identify this asset. We identified the asset. We walked the property with our children, especially our oldest, because she understands numbers now, and we saw an opportunity. I remember talking to Gabe. I was in Salt Lake City speaking at Pathfinders at all places last year when we bought it. I called Gabe at night because Gabe was a broker of record on this property, and talking about taking advantage of the people behind you. I'm not telling you something I don't do, okay?
And one of the apprentices was actually listing the house.
Yes, one of Gabe's disciples.
Yes.
Okay, so Gabe, the first thing that Gabe tells me is like, "Who do you want this property for?" For me. "Oh, no, bro, the property's ugly." That was one of the things he said. "That's not for you. I know where you live." I hadn't shared the vision with Gabe, or else he would have understood. But he was right. Look how ugly it was.
Very colorful.
I mean, you see a difference?
Yeah.
You see a little bit more modern, a little bit more in? You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the numbers. So this is, hold on. Let me show you the money. Show you guys the money, okay? No ADU needed on this property. It's very simple. You see this big old backyard here? You guys see it?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big backyard.
Yeah.
But it's like a big mountain back there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna encroach into the mountain as much as we can. use our resources. We have Omar, who is a grading guy here at church. He's already looking at the property. He has dump trucks. Come on, Benjamin, his company. He's like, dude, I can get all this dirt out of here for you in a minute, in a heartbeat. Actually, I can go dump it in one of your boys' property across the street. Oh, phenomenal. How much is that going to cost us, right? So we're going to invest about building a pool in the back, $110,000. We invested about $150,000 in the property. So, in the home inside to make it look nice. There's properties that have sold in that community for $2.7 million. We bought the property, next slide. We bought the property with a 10% down for $185,000 down that we borrowed. So $1.85 million. So bought it totally leveraged, 100% leveraged, okay? Remodeled it for $150,000. Pool construction it cost about $110,000. Total cash invested $445,000, leveraged. Okay? Getting a loan for the pool as well.
Chris, what does leverage mean?
Leverage means that I got loans. I didn't use my money. I used the bank's money. That make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so equity created in a 2-year hold. We're 1 year into it. The projected resale value is $2.7 million, just like the neighbors, because they have a pool, the house doesn't look ugly anymore, and they're going to have a yard. So total projected cost, $2.1 million. Total equity gain, $590,000. Cash on cash, 133% in only 2 years, or 66% per year. What this means, more than double in 2 years, living the asset pretty much for free for 2 years, no tenants or rent required in this asset. I could get an ADU, but don't want to. I probably make some more money, but the goal, we have a vision. The vision is that we have this property, we'll go do it again, and then we go build our dream home. It's gonna be very, very epic. So, but we need a lot of money for that. So we got the money that we got, plus 2 of these, and then we're gonna go do that. So it's fun, and the kids are learning this. This is really for my kids. We're refining the house we wear. This is for my kids.
It's not about building money. It is, but we're building a legacy in their kids. Our
Come
kids
on.
are seeing how to do it. We don't just hand them out. Oh, this is our what we're leaving, our inheritance. We're actually leaving a legacy right now.
I love that, baby. Next slide, please. Boom, the challenge. I love it. So all this is for you guys to go out and do it. That was my napkin back in 2005.
I love it. Love it.
That was my napkin. I got tired. My aptitude was very low.
Come on, Chris.
And I was working for billionaires. And I was managing their companies. Top 5 big developer in all the country and worldwide. Top 5 in the country, but he had presence worldwide. He wasn't the biggest worldwide. But I was director of operations, one of his 12 executives. 12, interesting, huh? And I'm seeing this guy. He had me Porsches. He had me any custom, Targas I wanted. Executive homes around the country, around the world that I could go use. 21 years old, making a whole bunch of money with him. And I thought it was cool. It was awesome. But you know what wasn't awesome? That I wasn't building real estate like he did. I'm like, I might not be able to buy a resort like he does now, but I'm going to go and do what I can do within my means. A single family home, every single one of you is able to do it. You have it already on your hands.
Yes.
Just look at your hands right now, super quick. Look at your hands. Just look at your hands. You know your hands pretty good. I'm sure you do. But let me tell you, what has God entrusted you with? It's on your hands that you can use to put your hand on something like that. But you won't do it. It's biblical. Habakkuk 2:2 says it. If you don't write it down. So I'm going to ask you, please, give yourself an opportunity and do, most of you guys raised your hands in our first class after wanting to go and take territory in real estate. You are, like Pastor Natalie said, you are under a pastorship that something that trickles down is ownership of homes. So take advantage of it. Who here wants to be a multimillionaire? I'm telling you, you do this. This is me at a restaurant that I love, Mrs. Rice, teriyaki chicken bowl, and it used to be $2.25. I ate through college, only 1 meal a day. And you know what? I wrote this down. Or when I was writing this down, I was actually already balling it for my age, pretty good. But it's a job that I got. But I was poor in assets. If he fired me, then I was broke. I had to go look for a job again. Yes, please?
What does that NOI stand for?
Okay, so NOI stands for net operating income, so the cash flow. So my vision was, the first home that I built, the cash flow, how much? $3,500? Something like that? Okay,
What?
$3,300.
Chris, what about the E where it says 100K?
Okay, so these were my parameters. This was my Rhema word that I felt God gave me, impressed in me. So what is yours? Mine was this, that I was gonna buy one asset. I said, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I wanna be a millionaire. I thought it was so cool, you know? And I said, to do that, I'm gonna do it in 10 years. All I gotta do is very simple. Buy one property per year. In 10 years, each property had to have $100,000 in equity. So 100 times 10, 100,000 times 10 years is what?
$1 million.
A million. I'm a millionaire in equities, right? That was my goal. And then each property had to give me a cash flow, how much? $1,000 per property. I just told you, I just showed you two. My first one gave me $3,300, right? So God exceeded by far this vision, but I started working on it. If you don't start working on it, you'll never see God move in your life. So my ask for you is that you give yourself an opportunity. Like grab a napkin, don't make it complicated. You don't need systems right now. This is not difficult. I'm talking about buying a single family home now. This is not doing wholesaling and the BFWDR strategies that we can teach and all that. No, this is very simple. Just buy a single family home. If you have questions, ask them through the Slack. But just to be clear, the task on hand, the challenge for this week is that we go out and get a piece of paper, a napkin, and we do our vision. Very simple. I suggest you do a napkin to not complicate things. You know, I want you to know that it's very simple. The napkin doesn't matter. What matters is you're going to be seeing it. You're going to put it somewhere on your board, and you're going to go after it. If you do the tasks that we had in the last class, you do it already. By the way, I want to mention. I will let him tell you guys. But there's one person sitting here that already took action, and he's ready to actually start his first one. I was pointing at him. Within the first week, there's one man sitting here. So, like, why can it not be all of us? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not? Right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that?
Yes.
All right. Anything else, babe?
So good.
All right. Love you guys.
Wow, Chris.